It's interesting reflecting on this question. It's actually hard for me to think of a time. I have my parents to thank for this, I think, that I didn't feel a strong passion about social impact in the work that I wanted to do. My parents like to joke that when I was like in preschool, they would ask, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I said a butterfly. But I think ever since then, most of my career aspirations have been things in the social impact space, taking a variety of different forms. Um, that being said, I think that for me, something that was a real shift was coming to technology as the specific lever of change, and the tool that I'm personally really invested in. There are so many important things to be done, and when I was younger, I thought I might be a chemist or even like a social impact graphic designer or all these different potential things. Um, when I was in high school, I had a dear friend who, to the outside world, it might have looked like we were just arguing all the time. But we thought of them as Socratic dialogues. And we would talk a lot about what does it take to make impact? What can we do to have the most impact in the world? And something that we arrived at, which may sound a little bit distant from my current work, is actually around storytelling and narrative building. We were really interested in alternate reality games, which are these kind of large scale stories that we overlay on a reality, cinema, media, right? All of these things that shape the way that people experience the world and the stories that we tell ourselves about who we are and what we stand for. And that kind of entree into the games and media space as a young person really shaped how I think about the approach to technology. I think that technology is this incredibly high leverage tool that we have at our disposal. I like to kind of draw on historical practices and think about how, your glasses are a technology. My shirt is a technology, right? Like the fact that we wear shoes is a type of a technology, or even language itself is a technology. And so if we take a broad view on technology, storytelling and media is part of technological change. And I think from my perspective, we are constantly in this conversation of like, what is the role of technology, the latest technology of our day in shaping our stories that we tell about ourselves. But I will say, even though I feel like I'm a more recent joiner to the AI space, I've been working in this space for the last 10 years, and it has a, AI has a legacy going back 70 years or more. Um, that being said, I did uncover recently an essay that I wrote in middle school for one of my classes about artificial intelligence. So I guess that the seed was already there way back then. But I think that it was really through this lens of stories that we tell about ourselves that I arrived at this space of technology as a lever for change.